I'm Silver. It is Wednesday, June 6th. I just wanted to say a quick hello to all new viewers and a great welcome back to all returning viewers. If you tuned in last time and did decide to come back, I really do appreciate it. Anyway, how have you all been? I've been good. I do have lots to talk to you about, so I probably should get started, right? First off, I had noticed that my computer's fan is super loud when it kicks up while I'm recording, and the microphone picks it up really quickly. So I do apologize about that if that actually drove you crazy. I decided to move the mic back actually on a separate table from me. So it's further away from the computer. Hopefully you don't pick up on that or anything else. The fan, unfortunately, is right above it, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, just please let me know if it gets any better for you. Anyway, you didn't really come here for the techie stuff, did you? Sorry, I'm already losing my voice. So grab your drink of choice. You are knitting or crocheting, and away we go. Today, I'm actually going to be drinking a vanilla protein shake. Mostly MDI and I have decided that we want to try to eat better. Today's shake is actually the first try for both of us, so we'll see how that goes, right? Let me give it a try, see how I like it. Not bad. Now that I've shaken it up properly. Whoa. Very vanilla though. I love it. Okay. Okay. Gotta put down for a bit. Alright. Alright. I have a few things I finished this week, you guys. It's amazing what happens when Stash Dash starts and you really want to finish things, right? The first thing that I did finish was what I'm simply going to call May's charity hats. It's the A Few Good Barleys project page I have on Ravelry. Because I finished 2 out of, I have no idea how many I'm going to finish. My goal is to finish as many charity hats as I possibly can before I go to SSK. Mostly because I want those tickets for donating some charity hats. Anyway, both of these hats will get me 140 yards for Stash Dash. And now you've heard me mention this before, but I'm just going to do a quick overview. Stash Dash basically is a way to finish up all your works in progress during the course of the summer for meterage. Basically as much as you possibly can. I do not have a specific goal in mind this year. I'm just going to go with the flow. See how that goes. See if that'll make me finish more things and start this summer. We'll hope. Anyway, the pattern for the whole project is going to be the Barley by Tin Can Knits. The 2 that I knit were actually both baby size hats, so they're the smallest one in that pattern. For both of them, I did use Bernat Softy Baby Solids and Marls in the baby pink colorway. Try saying that 10 times fast, right? The needles I'm using on that one was a US 4, which is 3.5 millimeter, and a US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter. Marble 16-inch circulars on both of them. Oh, I love these hats. They're super cute. And the next thing that I did manage to finish, you guys, I am so behind on this one and so behind on this goal for myself, is the 2018 washcloths. I finally finished the last of the April washcloths and the first one from May. I'm still 4 behind, but at least I finished a couple, right? Both of those will actually get me 120 yards for Stash Dash. And just as a gentle reminder, if you haven't been by before, I am intending on trying to do 1 washcloth per week for the year in 2018. The pattern I've been using is the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Ruth Slate. I have been using a miscellaneous cotton yarn that I have in my stash a lot that do not have a ball band on it. For the April dishcloth, I know I use Black Currant. The one for May, I don't actually have a ball band for at all, and it was a gift that was given to me, but it is a bright blue. That's all I can tell you. I'll have to write it below if I can find the ball band, which I doubt, but we'll see. Anyway, I have been using a size US 6 4.0 millimeter 24-inch marble circs that I have. I love these needles, guys. I can't put them down ever. Um, anyway, this right now for this month has actually been housed in the knitting sheep bag or tot by Slip Stitch Studios, mostly because I have found it is so much easier to have a smaller tot that I can pull really quickly. It's actually hanging on a hook right by me. So the next thing I did finish was the June's DVD socks. Now, if you're confused, don't you usually get to the point where you're just working on them? Yeah, so was I. I finished these socks in 4 days, you guys. 4 days. What? I have never done that before. But then again, the colors of that I used for this month, I just couldn't put down. And who can blame me? The colorway was actually Desert Vista Dye Works Aviso base, the O. Clark colorway. So it does have some blues, it has some reds. I love it. I just couldn't stop. The pattern I used on this one was the OMG Socks by Megan Williams. And as per my usual, I have gone down to a size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter. I do use a 9-inch circulars for the body of the socks, as well as two 16-inch needles for the heels, toes, and cuffs. And I did finish one more thing, what I am simply calling M needs warm legs. Yes, try saying that 10 times fast. Anyway, this did get me 362 yards for a stash dash. Mostly they are leg warmers. Actually, exactly, leg warmers number 263 by Bernat Design Studio. Oi, I love the pattern, except for the fact that I had to rejig some numbers as per my usual. I don't ever leave anything alone, but you know this by now. The colorway was Bernat Softy Baby Solids and Marls in the baby pink colorway. Oh, I love this. I pretty much used an entire skein for both leg warmers. This is another of my holiday gift knitting. Yay! That is done and off the needles. Ha 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 ha! I win! Anyway, I did knit this on a US 4 3.5 millimeter needles for the ribbing on both ends of each one. And I used a size US 6, which is a 4.0 marbles 16-inch circulars for both of them as well. Mostly because, as you do. Let's move on to works in progress, or WIPs. Like I mentioned before, I did start a new project since the last time we talked. What I am simply calling A Few Good Barleys. I'm in the middle of a third right now. This is another baby size hat out of the Barley pattern by Tin Can Knits. As I did before, I am also going to be using up most of the scraps from the Bernat Softy Baby Solids and Marls Baby Pink colorway that I used before, just because I want to use it all up, and it's a cute colorway, so why not? On this one, yes, I am also using those same US 4 and size US 6 marble 16-inch circular needles that I used from before. The major difference is that now it is all being housed in a Ziploc bag to host all the hats that I'm making, and that way everything is all in one place for me, because otherwise it'll get lost in the shuffle of my WIPs, right? And then the other thing that did get a lot of love this time around was what I called a stripy heart. This is actually a crochet pattern by Lucy of Attic 24, simply called the Granny Stripe Blanket. Oh, I love this blanket, you guys. I put in a few colors since the last time we talked. I am using a miscellaneous amount of Red Heart scraps. Most of them I can't remember the colorway, and the ball bands on them are long gone, as these have been scraps since when I started knitting. A lot of these are the acrylics that you buy, when you first knit, you don't know any better. I'll put as many of the colorways as I possibly can remember into my project page. Oh yeah, I just remembered the colorway I'm actually currently working on in there is what they call the Spirit line, which has two different colorways. This is a remainder of the blanket that I made for my parents for Christmas. Was it last year or was it the year before? Wait, I can't remember. Anyway, it is blue and blue and yellow. It is blue and white, which I absolutely adore. That one I had an entire full skein, so I'll be working with that colorway for a little while. But that's fine. I anticipate, long term prog. I do anticipate that this project is going to take me a while. I am using a size K hook, which is I've been told is a 6.5 millimeter. Oh, yes. Sorry, I had to look at it. This is actually in the bag that I got from the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. Basically, when they were doing kits for their 5th anniversary. Oh, I love this bag. I should probably take a picture of it so you guys can see it, right? The good or bad news about this is that I almost cannot fit the project inside because I've been working on it quite a bit. As you can probably see from the photo, I did include a progress keeper so that way you can see. All right, I'm going to move on to Silver's Unraveling Fast. Now, I didn't so much as have a knitting attack this week, so to speak, more like a change of heart when it comes to the patterning on a few projects this week. More specifically, the past couple days, I have made some pretty big decisions on several projects. One I've actually even mentioned before. Yes, I said it. I keep changing my mind about a few of my blanket patterns. When I talked about the Scraptastic DVD pattern or blanket, I almost knew that I didn't want to continue with the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth style of blanket. I honestly took a quick, not quick, but I've been debating this for a good week or so. I was noticing that it wasn't showing off the stripy sequences to my satisfaction, which is the whole point of this blanket. Mostly, yeah. So I changed it. Here is what I've decided for this one. I'm seeing a lot of difference in this pattern and I really like the way it's knitting up right now. The pattern I chose was the 10 stitch blanket by Frankie Brown. I've had this kind of in the back of my mind for this particular project for a while, so I should have just listened in the first place, right? For this one I am and will be using miscellaneous scraps from Desert Vista Dye Works, also known as DVD for simplicity's sake. I will list them all off on my project page. In fact, most of the colorways are there right now. As of right now, I'm actually currently working with the colorway Winnie the Pooh, which I absolutely love. I'm going to let you know I may not show off this project as much as I do the other projects, mostly because, mostly because there's going to be a lot of colorways and it's going to take me a little while. Just so you know, I may show off when I get to different colors. I do anticipate working on this project until at least the end of 2019, if not later. But I have to say, I'm okay with the long-term projects. And just so you know, the end of 2019 does mark the end of what will be my second year with the Desert Vista Yarn Club that she does. I'm crossing my fingers I get there, right? But like I said, I'm a little bit crazy. So I am going to be using a pair of US 5, which is a 3.75 Knitter's Pride Carbons DPNs that I have. Eventually, when I get to the larger size of the project, I may end up using the straights that I have in this set as well. This for now is being actually housed in my coffee bag by Molly Klein Designs. Again, until this gets a little bit bigger. Right now it is perfect size for the blanket. I don't anticipate having to move outside of this for at least a couple months of work, right? We're hoping. We'll see. Maybe a couple more colorways. Either way, I digress. The other thing that I did make a decision about this week was my Yowza blanket. That's the name I used on Ravelry, so you can find it. I was noticing that I wasn't really working on it as the 10 stitch blanket as much as I would like. I finally decided after much debate about it. Like, I don't think I've touched it in 3 months, 2 months, one of those. I can't remember. I'd have to look through a few pages of notes to see when I last worked on that. So it was that while ago. After debate, after much debate, I decided to switch the pattern to the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Ruth Slate. And boy, howdy, am I glad that I did. Once I made that change, I was able to knit through that pattern really quickly, and it did show off the progression of the colorways. And so you know, I am going to be using also miscellaneous leftover scraps of the Yowza by Miss Babs that I've had for a while. I didn't know what else to do with it, so, and especially since they were left over from different projects and stuff that I've done over the past years, I didn't want to toss it. Because, you know, knitters don't want to toss the scraps, but I still wanted to use them in a project that I would like. Again, this is another long-term project that I really don't anticipate finishing until the end of 2017, but I'm not scared of those. So yeah, just so you know, if you are looking for all of the scraps names, I'm going to do my absolute best as I remember them to put them in my project page. I can't guarantee anything. I am currently onto a fourth colorway, which I can't remember the name of. I will have to post it. I'll have to post it in the project page once I remember. Or find the ball band again, because ball bands are missing. For this project, I am going to be using a set of Susan Bates straight needles on a size US 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter needle. This is actually for now until it grows big enough. It is being housed in my sheep bag by Silver Shed USA that I got in a kit a while ago. I absolutely love this bag and it is super cute. I wish I had remembered that it was upstairs in my bag stash until a couple days ago when I finally made the decision about this blanket. Alright, I have a little bit of in Back to the Future this week, you guys. I have not yet started my June's self-striping KAL entry yet. I'm going to be using a pattern of my own choosing. It's a vanilla sock recipe with a traditional-ish gusset heel and heel turn. I'm going to be using Fab Funky Fibers self-striping sock in the Smells Like Teen Spirit colorway. I cannot wait to get started, you guys, but I feel like I have to finish something else first. We'll see how that one goes, right? Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Alright, Silver's book pile. It's basically where I talk about what I've been reading. I have finished, according to my notes, 7 books this week. So I've been a little bit busy. The first one that I did finish was The Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. I've also was listening to several books this week, you know, as you do. The first one I was listening to was a Wild Seductive Night by Lauren Blakely. Listened to Hooking Up by Helena Hunting. Also, I Flipping Love You by Helena Hunting. I did read Ignite by Caitlin Davis. I also did listen to Quidditch Through the Ages by J.K. Rowling, which I absolutely love and I recommend highly. Money goes to charity, so that's a big one for you. Go for it. And the last thing was a quick book this morning that I finished called Claimed by the Captain by Verity Vixen. Personally, if you're not into male romance, or you are, you may want to give that a skip because I wasn't impressed with it. But then again, the author is setting you up for 2 other books to follow, so there you go. I'm also currently listening to Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I do anticipate this taking a little bit longer, mostly because it is a very, very long book to listen to. I mean, it's a very long book to read in general, but, you know, listening to it's at least 40-something hours, so, yeah. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time is basically where I talk about all of the movies and TV and what have you that I have been watching over the past week. This week I was concentrating mostly on watching through Stargate SG-1. I am on to season 2, episode 13. So yes, I'm mostly through season 2 because, you know, it's one of my favorite series, so I can kind of binge watch them with the best of them. Um, I had also watched quite a bit of movies, which got a lot of my attention in the early portion of the week. I did finally watch Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1 and Part 2. I did also watch one of my favorite movies, Stargate. I also watched through Hunger Games, also Catching Fire and Mockingjay Part 1. To my chagrin, I realized that I do not actually own Part 2. So sorry. I'll have to get on that and watch that eventually, right? The movie's only been out for 3 years at this point, right? My favorite things. I had a few things come in the mail according to my notes here, guys. The first one that came in. So the first thing that did come in was from Bags by Awesome Granny. Oh, you guys, why have I not gotten one of her bags before? This bag that I got was called her wizard hat. It's a sweater size bag with her notion, like her coordinating notions pouch that comes with it. Oi, I love it. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to put a project in it. And I'm having a hard time deciding which one to put in there. One of the blankets, I think, eventually I'll put in there. Maybe. But either way, that's going to be coming with me to SSK. So if you are coming to SSK, you will see me with it on me. Pretty much at all times, because that's not coming out of my site whatsoever. So the next thing that came in the mail was June's Knit Two Together sock club from Hue Loco. If you did end up ordering that one, I do recommend at least skipping ahead a little bit if you don't want to be spoiled. Consider this your spoiler alert. All right, you're gone, right? This month, the colorway is called It's So You on Hue Loco's Phyllis sock base, which is a at 80% merino, 20% nylon mix, 400 yards. Oh my god, you guys, this colorway is amazing. And honestly, the colorway name It's So You is perfect. Oh, I love this combination of colors. So they give you 2 coordinating colors as well as the heels, toes, and cuffs colorway as well. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if you're wondering, the Knit Two Together sock club is a sock club from the Grocery Girls. So they picked basically the colorway names based on memories that they had when they were growing up. I haven't quite watched the episode where they discuss where the colorway name came from. I don't even know if they recorded it, to be honest. I'll have to do a little recon and let you know below. The next thing that came in was actually from Yarn Over Truck. It was the last installment of their fan, what do you call it, their fan yarn shipment, for me anyway. I am actually very sorry to see it go. I had so much fun with this yarn club. So you know, if you have not received this month's, please look away or skip ahead a little bit. Consider this another spoiler as well. Okay, you gone? Let me take a drink while I'll give it an extra. The yarn that arrived this month was an Apple Trees knit color, Pearl Jams colorway. Sorry. It is a fingering yarn. It is simply called Doctor Who. It's amazing, you guys. Like, I'm looking at it right now. I didn't want to put it away with the rest of my yarn yet. It's still sitting by my side. That's how much I love it. Oh, I love this colorway. What also came with the yarn? Oh yes, because you know they come up with little things to come with it, right? It came with a beaded road counter from the Sexy Knitter. I love the simplicity of this gadget, you guys. Amazing. I've already used it a couple times. It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, I digress. Another thing that came in there was there was a Doctor Who, Captain America mix, what do you call it? Note card, I guess you can say. Look, it's so awesome, you guys. Oh, It's perfectly my jam. Anyway, also what normally comes with the packaging is going to be two different patterns, one for knit and one for crochet. The knit pattern is called the New World Shawl by Afifa. I looked at the pattern. The first picture that they have on there, not as impressive, let me tell you. But the other picture that she includes in there, I can kind of see myself knitting it. I don't know if I would quite use the colorway that came in the package, but we'll see. I'll have to look closely, see if anyone else has made this pattern. Anyway, the crochet pattern that came with it was it's actually called the Sarah Jane Shawl by Sarah K. Harriman. I have to say the name drew me right away, but looking at the pattern makes me want to try to learn how to make a crochet shawl. I was looking at the directions, totally went over my head, but you know, like I said, I'm still a baby crocheter, so it may be a simple pattern for all I know, right? The more you know. Now, so you know, or probably have already known, the more you know is basically a section where I kind of announce things. And since it is the beginning of the month, there's a little bit of housekeeping I need to impart. I am so sorry if this bores you, but I understand. Just so you know, yeah, it's gonna be a bit. So grab your crafting and just kind of dig in with me, because I'm knitting too. There's a lot. um, the first thing that I need to mention was the second Podiversary contest. There was two different prompts for this one. Now, all I asked for this was that you look through my episode titles and tell me which one's your favorite and why. I had at one point listed all of the episode titles before last week's episode in the Ravelry Group thread as well, so that way you can find it and determine for yourself. Didn't really need you to watch the episodes. That was up to your up to what you would like to. I just needed to know if you had a favorite title, because I seem to have some fun making up titles. And also, the second thing that I wanted you to do, since I had been doing the hashtag SDL Movie Night on Instagram a lot more this year, I just wanted to know, what is your favorite movie? Who is your favorite actor, actress, and director? Okay. And I did say that I would give you the answers to my own prompts this week. As promised, I have actually given some thought to which of my episode titles was my favorite. Short answer, I actually have two that are tied for my favorite. The first one was episode 10, which is Whiskey Foxtrot Tango, because WTF, guys. And episode 44, titled In Which I Have Pink Dreams. The titles of both of these episodes reminds me of some of my favorite moments while I was recording each episode. Like I said before, I have had some major fun coming up with episode titles over the past 2 years, but these were actually the easiest and the most fun to come up with. Sometimes I crack myself up with the titles as I'm making them. Sometimes they don't quite work out. Let's just put it that way. So, as to my favorite movie, hands down has to be Stargate. Not only is it a great movie, but it lays the groundwork for Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, and Stargate Universe series later on, of which I'm a fan of all of them, although Stargate Universe I kind of didn't watch much of. Oops. But not only that, but this is actually my first introduction to Patrick Tatopoulos and his wonderful character creations. His amazing work on the Jaffa Hood and Roz Hood as well. I mean, they're pure works of art. And honestly, I've been kind of a fan of his since the very beginning, essentially. The script on the movie is phenomenal, and the actors playing it to perfection. Like, the lighting and effects they still stand out to me, even like the special effects, even though the movie was actually released in 94 and there have been a lot of improvements and stuff like that over the years. Now, who's my favorite actor? I broke this down into actors that are still living and actors that are not. Actors that are living that I really admire is Richard Dean Anderson. Yes, MacGyver slash Jack O'Neill. All right, so those that have passed that I have always loved and probably always will. The first one is Alan Rickman. One word, always. I also have admired Robin Williams as and still do, and ever since I was very little. And my first introduction to him actually was the genie in Aladdin. And ever since then, I think I've watched every single movie he's been in and adored those movies. My favorite actress, again, I wanted to break this down versus alive and have passed on. The actress that I always seem to want to watch is Emma Watson. Yeah, I know that's kind of not even just Hermione, but a lot of different roles that she's done as well. Her characters tend to be powerful, funny, and strong-willed women who one can almost look up to. And I say almost, but I mean, you really can. My favorite actress who had passed actually is Carrie Fisher. For the same reason that I like Emma Watson, essentially. Carrie Fisher did not take stuff from anyone and just totally rocked every role she took on in her career, which I admire her so much for. She's got an autobiography out there. Go get it. All right. And lastly, my favorite director, hands down, Tim Burton. I love his works. So many different characters that he creates, and you can actually easily relate to them and even feel sorry for them toward the end and essentially all the situations that they get themselves into. Oh, I just love his movies, you guys. All right. So if you answer the prompts in our Ravelry group, you would get this wonderful skein of West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply sock yarn in the colorway 811, which I have been told is the passion fruit cooler colorway, which is a BFL wool and 25% nylon mix, which I absolutely love. All right, and there were 5 different people that entered this. I did do a random number generator, as evidenced by the picture in front of you now. The winner of this was post number 6, who is Most Crochet. And her response to the prompt is, haha, so glad you posted the list with a smiley face. Her favorite has to be En Fuego. I'm paraphrasing sort of here. It is kind of an inside joke for her, mostly to do with her husband's made-up band name and stuff like that. And she also says, I think our hubbies would get along well from the bits that you shared in the last episode. So yes, I think they would most. And so as for movies, she says, I am so bad with picking faves. I blame it on being a Libra. That's fine. I can't really pick much either. She told her husband that they should find the never-ending story for the boys to watch this summer. Yeah, which is a very good idea. I love that movie myself. You can find it actually, you pretty much can find anything on Amazon nowadays. That's where I have a copy of it for myself. So, and it looks like, oh, they also love Mel Brooks movies. Yes, he's a good one too. Her little one's favorite movie so far has to be Young Frankenstein. No, it's pronounced Frankenstein. If you've never watched the movie, watch it and you'll know what I'm talking about. She also writes, I don't know if her older kids will like Robin Hood Men in Tights or Spaceballs better. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you, and I wouldn't be able to pick which one either. They're both awesome movies, and yeah, I'd say it would be hard to choose between the two of them. So congrats again, Most Crochet. Please PM me on Ravelry with your physical address, and I will send along your prize as soon as I possibly can. I know you've won before. I just don't say addresses. Sorry. The next little bit of housekeeping that I do need to discuss is the Knit to 0KAL. It's pretty much the elephant in the room, right? So please, for this one, use the hashtag K20 and and hashtag SDLK2Z on Instagram and any other social media. Now, simply the rules on this one: you must be a member of my Ravelry group. Your projects must be at least 10 grams of yarn. I've pretty much gonna stick with that one. Sorry. Your individual socks do count unless you do finish the pair. Just be aware one pair will only count once, so you know. So if you're very, you don't end up finishing a pair of socks, I'm not gonna be mad. Any project that you finish in 2018 will count if it is not a Ravelry craft, such as scrapbooking, latch hooking, quilting, sewing, needlepoint, and holiday baking, etc. Even if it is not a Ravelry craft, it will count. If you do one of those crafts, I do insist and hope that you would put a before and after photos, so that way I can see your progress, because I'd love to see the before and after, because I'm just nosy that way. The last rule is that poly dipping is allowed, and it's even encouraged. Alrighty, you want to know about the prizes, don't you? Yes, that's why you're here. I know, I get it. So there will be 12 individual $10 under patterns of the winner's choice on Ravelry. There will also be an individual pattern by Java Pearl Designs set up per quarter, so that's a total of 4. There will also be a set of cupcake stitch markers, as well as a set of sheep stitch markers, both by Ann Tudor. Oh guys, I love these stitch markers, you guys. I can't wait for the winners to get those. Another prize is this wonderful Outlander bag by the Knitting Broomstick. And also by the Knitting Broomstick, there will also be an awesome teapot bag. Love it. You have to make sure you take pictures of it out in the wild when you win, right? Another prize up for grabs will be an awesome bag by Molly Klein Designs. Oh, I love this bag too, guys. Like I said, another picture out in the wild would be awesome. Another thing that will be up for grabs as well would be these lovely pizza stitch markers by Molly Klein Designs. I love it. Alrighty, I have a wonderful grand prize set up for you guys. There are 3 things in this package that I'm sure you would love to be in the running for. The first thing is actually going to be something of your choice. It's going to be a sock-sized tote of your choice from either Slip Stitch Studios, Molly Klein Designs, or the Knitted Broomstick. I'll let you choose. And also what will be in this package will also be your choice of a set of stitch markers from also either Molly Klein Designs, Ann Tudor, or the wee ones on Etsy. Again, I'll let you choose. And the last thing that I do have in my hot little hands is a $50 gift card for Miss Babs, so that way you can choose which yarn you would like as well. There will be other prizes to be determined. I foresee maybe not more than that, but we'll see. Prizes will be drawn once a quarter, so every 3 months. So please make sure to post your FOs, and just please PM me directly if you'd like to donate a prize for this KAL, be it like pattern and so or anything like that. That would be great as well to kind of flesh this out. So a quick word of warning, at the end of June, I'm going to be pulling for prizes. So if you would like to be in for prize consideration for the months of April, May, and June, please post your FOs by the end of June, which is the 30th. That's a Saturday. I'm going to be a little bit locking it that night right before I go to bed, actually right before midnight, so that and that way everything is fair. Most of Sunday I hopefully will have that locked, so that way I can take care of that. I don't know how that's going to go. My mind may change between now and then, because you know how I do. So you want to know who finished things in the month of May? All right, so a hearty congratulations for those that finished projects in May. Rue CMC, Elle McCall, Moe's Crochet, and Mercury Zelda. Congratulations, ladies! Oh my gosh! I need to note that since the end of May has happened, I have actually started a new running total for June. So the totals that you saw in the scroller above or before were actually before June 1st. So if you posted after June 1st, don't worry. I did see your posts, and I will be counting them next month. we have actually come to the end of the road. Thank you to everyone for sticking around with me, especially through all of the technical jargon and all of the weird stuff that I've gone through and all that I've gone through and all that I have talked about over the past couple years. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for celebrating 2 years of an awesome endeavor with you guys. I am actually pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. I am SilverLuna2112 there on Ravelry. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver's Dreamland. On Instagram, I am both Silver's Treats and Silver's Dreamland. However, I'm still thinking and debating about getting rid of that second one. So just definitely message me on Silver's Treats there on Instagram. And on Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. As always, anything and everything that I talk about can be found in the show notes directly at silversdreamlandpodcast.com. Alright, so I have rambled for long enough. I do know your time is valuable. Please feel free to join in any discussion, or you can even start your own on the Silver's Dreamland Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. So please stay tuned for episode 49 on the 13th. Until next time, happy crafting!